Hey there everybody, it's Missy and I'm back with a new layout today for the ThermOWeb design team. And our theme this week is using stamps from Waffle flour, and the design team received a set of stamps from this company, and the set that I got is super cute. It's called Flower Circles, and I'm going to use a lot of these circles to create a background today, and then I'm going to work in some of the Deco foil to add some sparkle and shine to my layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed this up, and I'm going to use these circle stamps and some dark gray archival ink. And so it's going to be permanent ink. It's not going to smear or smudge when I start to add any liquid to it on the background. And this is just textured white cardstock here. I haven't done any gesso or anything like that to the background. And I'm just going to randomly stamp circles. And I accidentally dropped it. You could see that wasn't planned, but that's okay. Sometimes you just drop things and it lands right on your layout and you keep going, right? So I decided to go with gray just to do something different, and I like the fact that the texture on these circle stamps makes it look like I'm using different shades of gray, because some of them are striped, some of them have little polka dots, some of them are made up of just little tiny X's or hash marks. And the tiny one I'm using now is solid. And so I like how that looks. I think it looks fun. And I wanted to do something different instead of just stamping in different colors. I wanted to stamp in one solid neutral color and then add color to it. Okay, so let me tell you about this. This is the Easy-Cut Adhesive Sheets. A lot of you have asked me, can I do the foiling without a laminator? And this is one way to do it. These are basically long sheets of sticker paper, in a sense. You can die cut it, you can punch it, you can cut it with your scissors. It's pretty versatile. And I'm going to punch some circles here using a couple different sizes of my circle punches. And it basically is a little thin layer of sticky with two backings that you peel off on either side. So I'm going to put those aside right now and go for my background design. Now I want to add some gelatos. And in order to get them to smudge and blend really nicely, I think that it's best to add some gesso first, and that's what I like to do. So this is clear gesso, and since I use that archival ink, it's not affecting the circles that I've stamped. So I'm just going to smudge some of that over and then dry it with my heat gun. And now I can go around the circles with the gelato. I'm going to dip my finger in just a tiny bit of water and then use my hand to smudge the color around the circle. The look that I was imagining here was just a lot of smoky, hazy, different color blues around these circles. And at this point, I had planned on going with a blue and green color scheme, just to be different. And I didn't have a collection picked out or anything like that. I just knew that I wanted to have stamps in the background, and I wanted to use gelatos today just to do something different. I use spray inks and watercolors a lot, and the gelatos are super fun and they're easy to use, and you can see how easily they smudge and blend together. And I think that the gesso really aids that, because if you do this with just the plain cardstock, it will blend and smudge, but it's a little bit harder to get it to do it. And the minute you add water to it, it's going to start to ball up. If you use your hand and any pressure to smudge, the gesso kind of prevents that from happening. And I have very little warping of my paper here. It's still pretty flat. So I decided to go with some pink. I know I said I just wanted to do blue and green, but when I added my photo on top of it, her shirt is pink. And so with that little pop of pink, I felt like I needed some of that in the background. And I love this picture. She's looking at a catalog, and it was taken at night, and so it's kind of a dark, dramatic photo. So here's what not to do. Don't stick this sticky adhesive paper onto anything that has gesso on it, because it did not stick very well. And don't peel off both sides without sticking one side down to something first. So peel off one side, stick it down, and then peel off the other side. That's the best way to use these. And I would suggest using smooth cardstock like I'm using here. And you can see right there that, kind of hard to see, but as I move it in the light, I have four small ones, a bigger one, and then a medium size sticky circle. All you do is take your foil and stick it down, foil side up, smooth it down with your finger, and then when you peel it off, there you go. No laminator needed at all. This is super fast, really easy, and I think if you want it to be perfectly smooth, it works better with when you use tiny intricate designs, whereas with this big solid circles it's kind of hard to get it perfectly smooth. But I didn't want it perfectly smooth. I like it kind of messy and textured looking, and then if you really want it textured looking, you can just bend the circles kind of back and forth and it will really give you a crinkled look. So now I use the champagne color foil, and that's a really pretty gold color, and I'm going to use those around the page later on. I did decide to add in some gold color shine, and my nozzle is broken because this is an older bottle, but I'm just dabbing some on using the sprayer onto some plastic and then smushing it down kind of to the upper left and lower right area of where the photo is going to go. And then I'm going to add some splatters, and I decided that the gold would be a fun addition when I decided to use the gold for the circles. I think it goes really pretty with the colors in the background. So I found a collection that's been, literally, it's under my desk. I still have a lot of it. It's the documentary collection from Dear Lizzie, and it had several things in it that matched my color scheme very nicely. And so I pulled out a couple sheets of paper from 6x6 paper pad to use as layers behind my picture there. And I'm glad I added the pink. I think it looks pretty. Now, I almost tried to use this beautiful vellum sheet with the gold stars. I thought the foiled gold stars would be pretty, but it was too much, so I wound up not using it. But I am going to use one of the ThermOWeb tape runners here to adhere my layers down. It's very strong tape. And then I'm going to add in some fun foam behind my picture to raise it up. Now I have the sticker sheet and the puffy stickers and things like that from the collection. I'm going to use bits and pieces. I'm going to try to work in the foil. I didn't want too much shiny foil because I knew that I wanted to add in the color shine, and I just wanted the foil to be kind of an accent and not take over the photo. And that's the good thing about the foil, is you can really go crazy with it, or you can use it as an accent and do something smaller with it. And this collection actually has some gold foil in it, and so kind of went along really nicely. Now I still have some of these rub-ons, and they're old and they've dried out. I tried to use this magenta pink colored leaf, and it did not really turn out that well. You know how rub-ons go. If you let them sit in the air for too long, they will dry up, and these just were not really usable anymore. Now these are the puffy stickers. Like I said, they just happen to match beautifully, so I'm going to use those. And I just tried to make it work with what I had. I'm going to use that puffy sticker that says live. And I don't have the entire thing left, but I just kind of went through and saw things that matched. I never thought in a million years I'd use this little pink deer, but I thought it matches perfectly. Make it work. And I'm also going to use that little bird, and that little bird is going to stand on top of that little gold circle. And I needed something for the deer to stand on, and so I stamped another circle because I didn't want the deer to look like he was just floating in space. And so it kind of looks like he's standing on the circle, and he's looking up at the photo, and I love how that looks. And it has nothing to do with the picture. I kind of just went random with this, and I actually love how it turns out. I'm not finished with the title though. I am going to add in some aqua thread, and it matches the background perfectly. This was just one of those layouts where I just sat down and went for it. That glue that I'm using is the Mixed Media Adhesive from ThermOWeb. It is fantastic. It dries really, really strong. So if you use it, nothing is moving. Now these are some stickers from My Mind's Eye that I've had on my desk for a long time. They're gold foil, and I just decided to make my title Live for This. I wanted to use that live piece because I had it, it matched. And I thought, I'm just going to make it work because, it's not a monumental photo. She's just doing one of her everyday things, and I just thought it worked. So that's what we did. Now, I saw this paper from the 6x6 paper pad, and it had some matching circles, again with the circle theme, so I just went through and punched out pink, gray, and aqua, and I'm going to add in a couple of those around the page as well. I love how, you know, I didn't even know what I wanted to do, and as soon as I looked at the stamps, I knew right away I want to make a circle layout. And I love how, you know, just one little thing like that can inspire you to start your whole design a certain way. You know, and then when you find a collection or papers or embellishments that go with it, it just sort of flows. And that's how this one went. It came together pretty quickly. I'm going to add in a couple lines of journaling here. Just talking about her and her love for catalog flipping. Page after page. I did a little metallic gold stitching, and I had a fight with my sewing machine, and it kind of ripped a hole in my page, but that's okay. Last thing I'm going to do is add in some sequins. These are from Spiegel Mom Scraps. Check them out. Lots of gorgeous sequin mixes, almost any and every color you can imagine. So I'm going to add in some pinks and some aqua to pull in from the colors that I've got going, and that is going to wrap it up. There's the final page. I love how this turned out. I love the colors. I love the shine. You can really see the shine on those gold circles. I like to take my layouts outside for ThermOWeb to photograph them, because you really get to see the different shines on the foil. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun. I love the circle stamps. Definitely check out Waffle Flower. They have a ton of stamps. Super, super cute. This one again is called Flower Circles, and you could build an entire garden of flowers with them too, because there's stems and leaves. Really, really cute things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.